Hello there, and welcome to another episode of WOK TALK. I'm Captain Canada, or Joseph Arthur Roszell. As always, I just want to start off with doing 5 squats with the titanium shield, otherwise known as the WOK for Lost Loved Ones cooking wok, because you can cook on it. And I was doing these squats to prepare for the 50-mile pallet carry to raise awareness for suicide prevention, but I did that in May, so we are now preparing. We're celebrating this year's journey, and we're preparing for next year's journey. So let's do our 5 squats, and then we'll talk about some stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good looking. Silly kitty. Well, as I was saying, we're now training for next year's pallet carry to raise awareness for suicide prevention. The walk, just like it always does, it goes from Grand Prairie to Beaver Lodge and back. It is our unofficial world record. And we're just trying to increase our endurance. I keep saying us. I'm trying to increase my endurance so I can carry the pallet the 50 miles, which with less rest stops. So the idea is bit by bit we're going to do larger and larger chunks. I'm aiming next year to do 40 kilometers at a time, 25 miles at a time, and then take a rest and then do the other 25 miles, 40 kilometers. But yeah, I was on weekends now. I am carrying the pallet 10 kilometers on weekends from Grand Prairie, not from Grand Prairie, from the edge of Grand Prairie. There's some graffiti tunnels. From those graffiti tunnels to Claremont and back, that's 10 kilometers. And I'm going to do that at least that much every week is my plan. And last night I was carrying the pallet 10 kilometers. And I think partially because it was Father's Day, maybe because I titled the live stream "Training for Unofficial World Record." We got good numbers. We got actually the best numbers we've ever gotten on a live stream. It was 490 views, 11 upvotes, and 5 subscribers. I think we did lose a subscriber since last night, so we may not have all of those subscribers still, but still. I got 8 subscribers yesterday. That's pretty cool. Even if we only got 7 out of 8, 7 out of 8 isn't bad. Yeah. Had some really good interactions. A lot of emotional reactions. There was a couple instances of me getting kind of angry on the live stream. I don't see that as a failure. I just see that as sometimes the appropriate response. The first time I got angry on the live stream, I was getting angry over nothing. I was someone was saying your mouth is gross and wipe your face, and I think they were basically making a joke like my beard looked like my face was dirty and I should wipe it. But I didn't respond too kindly to that. I actually experimented with putting somebody on timeout. I'd never done that before, and I regretted doing it because it actually deleted their comments up until that point. And I didn't want to do that. I just wanted them to, because they were like commenting, and I just like, okay, I need you to stop. You're pissing me off, and I need you to like stop commenting at me. And so I put them in timeout, and then I took them out of timeout because I don't really want to censor people, but I did want to kind of like, hey, like let's put our foot down here, but at the end of the day, I apologize for having thin skin and they said they were just trying to make a joke, and it's like, fair enough. You made a joke and I didn't take it very well, and I took it as an insult, so I was pretty mean to them, and they were like, you're mean, and I'm like, well, you're insulting me, and then they're like, I'm sorry, and it was all good. It was all cool. But after that, we were continuing to have good interactions. I was interacting with an individual who said they had attempted suicide twice in their life, but now they were teaching people survival skills. And that was a really nice interaction. But I started telling people a little bit about my best friend, Brandon, who committed suicide. And that kind of opened the door for troll to, and I hate to using the term troll because it's demeaning. Somebody, because they were trolling, they were trying to get a response, so I don't mind using that. But I think the term troll is completely overused, and people just use the term troll for anybody they disagree with or anybody who gives them a little bit of attitude. It's not everybody's trolls, and even if they are, trolls are people too. And what it was is basically they commented something along the lines of, "Oh, no wonder they committed suicide with a friend like you." Uh, and I was like, "Really? You really doing that?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "And you shouldn't be doing the suicide awareness thing because people should have the choice to do it." And it's just like I'm getting a little bit pissed off at him, and I because it was just a joke. And then he wanted to know how my best friend killed himself. So I was like, "You really want to know?" He cut himself, and he's like, "That's hilarious." And it was just so I called him the C word. Captain Canada didn't say Canuck. I called him the biggest C word in the universe and the biggest douche in the universe. And well, when it came down to it, I didn't hate him. I didn't think he hated me. I even asked, "Do you think you're going to stop me doing what I'm doing?" And he's like, "I'm not trying to stop you." And I appreciated that honesty. Um, but the way I look at it is he's an edgelord. And edgelords are people too, but they're right along the edge. And they're being edgy. And he was right on the edge of that pit. You know, the pit in 300 where he's like, what does this is madness. This is Sparta. I do think that King Leonidas isn't really pro free speech because he sent someone to their death based on things they said, but they were also kind of threats. I don't agree with kicking people into pits that you disagree with because that's the end of the conversation right there. But I believe in metaphorically kicking people into pits. And there were two characters in this situation. Three, four. Oh, let me think. No. I was in the position of King Leonidas, but I was also in the position of Billy Butcher at the bottom of the pit. You know, Billy Butcher from The Boys. And our edgelord friend Don was on the edge, making edgy suicide comments. And so I kicked him into the pit. And down there, Billy Butcher wasn't there with a crowbar. No, he was there with the word, with the British insult. And so, yeah, this is madness. This is a cunt, is what I said. And I kicked him into that pit. But the conversation continued after that. And we continued talking, and by the end of the live stream, Don there, our troll, if you want to call him, he basically said I wasn't serious about those out of pocket things that I said, which to my understanding, means the shitty things that I said. Uh, and it was like I appreciated him saying that, clearing that up, you know. But I'm there for the trolls as much as I'm there for the people who want to be sincere and kind and everything. Because, like I say, trolls are people too, and I don't think just dismissing people as trolls is reasonable. I think it's kind of elitist in a way when you just go, "Oh, the trolls! Don't feed the trolls. They don't deserve a response. They're just trolls." And it's like sometimes maybe they are trolls and they're just getting a response out of you, and people need to learn how to deal with trolls. Not feeding the trolls is a way to go, but sometimes you just call everybody a troll and you're like, "Oh, I'm not going to interact with you because you're a troll." And it's just like sometimes you're a critic and you're being called a troll. And I don't think that's intelligent. I think we should have critics and we should have trolls and we should have all these different things. I thanked Dawn for pushing my buttons because I need to be ready in case somebody makes jokes like that. Not so I can keep my cool and not say anything. No, I want to have prepared fuck you responses to things like that because you're a human being. You might be an adult. Maybe even if a kid says some shitty things about suicide, I'll probably fucking put them in their place. But who am I to say where someone's place is? Um, one person's most precious ideals and things that you stand up for are just a fucking joke to somebody else. Even if it's not a joke to them, they'll pretend it's a joke to them just to get a rise out of you. But does that mean that you just say, "Oh, your words are false, therefore I will not engage"? I just hate that. That's not how Captain Canada does things. Captain Canada engages with you, whether you're calling yourself a troll or a villain or a hero. If you're being an asshole to me, I will come right back at you. You know, like we're all in this together, but we're all in this equally, and we have the right to stand up and push back. And yeah, I also want to mention that I finally had an interaction through comments with Skyline Superhero. Um, Thank you for finally responding to one of my fucking comments. I'm pretty sure I've commented on your stuff before without any response. I understand you're a great big YouTuber, and thank you, Lord, for gracing one of the peasants with your presence. I really appreciate that. That's me being a little bit sour, to be honest. I shouldn't say that. I understand you're busy and you don't necessarily have to respond to every comment, but I really appreciate him responding to this comment because I kind of called him out on his bullshit a little bit. Well, I asked a question that kind of pointed a finger, and I'm going to say that Skyline Superhero was dishonest in the way he produced one of his shorts a little while ago. He's basically talking about how data centers are bad and how they take away water and they're like they're a problem with the environment and all that. But he then films himself by this riverbed or a pond that was all dried up now, and it's like, yeah, I used to swim here when I was a kid, and it's like kind of making the insinuation that data centers caused this tragedy where now his old swimming hole is gone. And so I asked him, was this caused by a data center? And he's like, no, this was actually climate change. Um, so yeah, I really appreciate him actually responding and clearing something up because that was dishonest, buddy. I have a lot of respect for you, Skyline, and I understand you have your opinions on AI like a lot of people do, but that was dishonest. So I appreciate your honesty in clearing things up, but I had to ask that question to get that clarification, and you were man enough to respond to that comment. I also left a nice comment. I thought it was nice, basically saying, "Good job in your first year. You're really raising the bar. You're doing a great job. I'm Captain Canada. I carried a pallet 50 miles to raise awareness for suicide prevention. That's how I'm trying to raise the bar. I just want you to know that you give me a lot of hope for the RLSH community. And I might have said something like, I expect big things from you. I don't know if I said that, but you give me hope for your future and the future of the RLSH. No, he didn't fucking respond to that. And that's fine. You don't have to respond to my comments, but thanks, superhero. Like, you lose a little bit of respect for people when they pour my heart out a little bit to you, let you know we're on the same team. And I appreciate that you are in the real life superhero community. But does that mean anything? Like, if I got a shout out from a fellow real life superhero, when I do get shout outs from real life superheroes, I appreciate them. I don't know if Skyline appreciates my support. Yeah, and that's fine. He doesn't have to, but I'll just say those were the interactions I've had with Skyline so far, and as much as I think he's really raised the bar for the real life superheroes on YouTube, uh, personally, I've had no real positive interaction with him. He did reply to my comment, clearing up his dishonesty. I'm gonna just call it's dishonesty. Like what he did was flat out like propaganda, and like not even true propaganda. Like he was just bullshitting people, being like, "Look at this poor pond. I used to swim here. Also, data centers eat up all the water. This is a horrible tragedy." Like, you're insinuating those things are related when they weren't. So I'm gonna keep a closer eye on you, Skyline. I now know that even though you keep your secret identity and you want to hold yourself to this high standard, I have a tick against you. But you also got a tick in the positive because you cleared that up when I asked a question about it. But it kind of breaks even. And then I don't want to put you in the negative for not responding to my other comment or my many comments I have left on your shorts and videos and stuff. But it ain't a positive. You would get a positive if we are having like interactions and things. But I think you and Uwo's lab have something in common, is that you're not like the biggest YouTube channels in the world, but you're big enough that you can decide not to reply to every comment. And that's a privilege, buddy. It's not even a privilege. That's a choice. You choose not to interact, and that's fine. That's fine. You want to speak out against AI, that's fine. I use AI in a lot of the stuff I do. I think a lot of the criticisms of AI are reasonable. But I also think that using AI doesn't make you a bad person. And I expect to have conflict with Skyline Superhero on this subject, because I know in his iceberg, real life superhero iceberg, he has a category for AI, or real life superheroes using AI or something along that lines. And so I'm really interested to see what he has to say, because I'm friends with a lot of real life superheroes who use AI in their work, and there's some real standout motherfuckers, and a lot of them have been in the real life superhero community longer than you, Skyline. So yeah, you are number one on YouTube, but we do still exist in the real world. So I'm going to watch you. I'm going to be your fan, but I'm also going to be your critic. Because I think that we as real life superheroes shouldn't be above criticism. Because otherwise we end up with another fucking Phoenix Jones. And I know you don't want that. But I also think you're showing off your weapon skills. I don't want to say bullshit, but I will say not practical to real life superhero stuff. And I think it sets a bad example for other real life superheroes, because there's a lot of real life superheroes who want to bring weapons into their patrols and things like that. And you've spoken out against it, but you've also shown yourself training with weapons and stuff. And you need to be a little clearer about what you're doing, because I think you're making it seem like you're a Shaolin master who goes and fights people with weapons or something, when I think you're doing a great job handing out food, and that's where I am jealous of you, buddy. You are doing a great job connecting to your community and other communities and the real life superhero community, but you and Kevlar Cat fucking around with weapons, I think could send the wrong message. As long as you just say you're fucking around, just tell people these things are not for patrol. That's all you needed to say, and I would have no problem with that, but you didn't say that. You said that in another video about like what not to do and things like that, but when you and Kevlar Cat were fucking around with the weapons, nobody said, "We do not bring these out on patrol." Please add details like that. I would appreciate it. And I am still a big fan of yours. I just kind of wish you would have replied to my comment. I'm a big fan, and I think you're doing great things. But you also deserve criticism, because I caught you being dishonest. Alrighty. I'm Captain Canada, Joseph Arthur Roszell. I want to thank you for watching. I want to wish you all luck in the world. I love you, and I want you to remember that suicide is never the answer. Peace out. For now.